Welcome, Sanctuary of the Open Heart community. I want to share with you today the guiding principles and guidelines for preparation and participation in any Sanctuary of the Open Heart circles. As the one whose role it is in these alchemical circles to create and maintain coherency and frequency and harmony and resonance, I want to strongly encourage you to take in these guidelines at a feeling, visceral level, rather than just letting the words run over you, so that we can actually be on the same page and aligned energetically in our agreement field with each other. These guidelines are actually very necessary and prerequisite for coherent participation in any sanctuary call or event. The fact is that all alchemical work amplifies the transmutational field that we access. So such guidelines are absolutely central to our productively and harmoniously being together in this transmutational field. Please take time now. Really feel these words as they come into you right now, so that not to take this in would be like coming into the room that is apparently speaking the same language, but whom you find yourself not fully understanding. It's not helpful, basically, to clear communication or to reception. So please take these guidelines deeply in. You know, right now online there are many circles being offered, all with different intentions and purposes. But I want you to know that our primary intention in the Sanctuary of the Open Heart circles and calls and events is to offer participants an experience of unity consciousness and unconditional love. Now, let me tell you, in a culture and a time that is so conditioned and so divisively fractured, we intend to bring people together to explore ways to let go of patterns that divide us and move into patterns that uplift and unify us in love. Many other circles are focused on issues of the ego mind and communicating from that perspective. That's great. The Sanctuary is not offering that kind of circle. It is our intention to focus on accessing our essence, on the mythic, archetypal, and soul-directed aspects of yourself, and to communicate from there. In a culture that adulates being identified with the ego mind and is endlessly self-reinforcing storyline, these circles offer a very unusual opportunity in consciousness. In order to maintain the frequency of this focus in soul voice, essence self, each person has to take responsibility for their energy, their focus, and their frequency. That is, these are not circles where you can be multitasking, for example, answering texts or feeding the cat or listening to these offerings from that discursive point of view. These circles require your full attention. So if you have time to offer that full attention, please feel free to join us. To honor the sanctity of the container that we create, please be prepared to be on time on the call and stay until we are complete. To ensure that sanctity, no one will be let in after we have begun our opening meditation in that particular circle. Another requirement for participation in these circles is to have practiced what we call in the Divine Feminine, empty presence. That is, we assume that you have cultivated practices that allow you to empty your mind of chatter and thought, to become fully focused in the present moment. If you would like to explore that more deeply, there is a link for you to go to our website and look under the Living Library for Empty Presence video, and you can learn more about what that is in that form. It really elucidates this feminine form of open-eyed meditation. Also, to participate optimally, you need to understand that these are alchemical circles. Alchemy is a powerful process of transformation that occurs on all levels of being: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. For alchemy to occur requires two basic things: coherence and resonance. Coherence is the difference between the power of a flashlight and a laser beam. Coherence is focused, clear, intentional use of energy. My primary spiritual offering is holding a strong, coherent, alchemical container. And that container is maintained through all of the participants holding the unified field with an open heart in empty presence. As simple as that. Maintaining the unified field with an open heart in empty presence. These sanctuary circles operate on the alchemical assumption that since we are all connected as one, that what is done for the one is done for all. We are operating on the assumption and the experience on these calls that we can and do affect the collective mind field of Earth, the alchemical field of the Earth, the morphogenetic or quantum field, whatever you want to call it, to evoke tangible alchemical change and transformation for the entire collective of all life on Earth. Be aware that with our focus on the essence self, and due to the impact of participation in alchemical circles, both shadow and light will be amplified. That is, due to the alchemy of the divine light that you experience, you may find yourself deeply inspired as a soul to move into new directions or explore new territory or creative soul gifts. Conversely, the ego, like a little child, always wants your attention. And when that doesn't happen, often what will be revealed are the shadows and the wounded places where we're still stuck in the ego's hamster wheel of identification. Whether you call that unconscious shadow or wounding, whatever it is, the aspects of those aspects get activated also in an alchemical field. If this happens, let me tell you, celebrate. This shows you precisely where your soul work needs to be focused on in clearing and healing any perception that appears to be causing shadow reactions in you. The fact is, you are a sovereign, fully self-empowered being, and hence you're responsible for dealing with whatever shadow arises in these circles. Processing emotional shadow is not the purpose or focus of these sanctuary calls. That is your responsibility and your gift. Just for clarity, as to the recordings of sanctuary video calls, the sanctuary is forwarding password protected recordings only to those registrants of these events. These videos cannot be downloaded or embedded anywhere else. They are therefore not posted on any social media platform. In other words, you can feel really free to express yourself on these calls, because we don't use these videos that are recorded in any other way. There are several calls that require deep meditation for. They're the advanced calls. Drink from her well is one of them. That is a deep meditation. It's an hour-long meditation. The revisioning alchemy is another one that is a very deep frequency, and the post-transmission calls. and the invocations from the Alchemy of Ecstasy. Those are all the deeper, more held containers. The other ones that we encourage the more participation and heart connection, those circles are a little lighter, sometimes ego-mind involved, soul salons, dream weaver circles, community luminaries, mystery mirabilis. They're all different flavors of consciousness and things to enjoy and learn from, but all a little bit lighter in the energy interface and connection than the ones listed first as the deeper meditations. So if you want to start in the easy ones, the ones that you're training yourself in alchemical work, then start with some of the ones I listed last. And then come on to some of the deeper ones when you feel ready to really enter into that alchemical field. I honor you in your journey. Please come join and play with us in some of these circles. We'd love to have you be a part of our Sanctuary of the Open Heart community. Blessed be.